Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at all the crazy things that get caught on camera these days. You guys sent in some fascinating videos from the YouTube channel Mr. Nightmare and his series, Scary Videos Caught on Ring Cameras. And you might be surprised by just how unsettling some of this footage is.
Yeah.
It really makes you think twice about what's happening right outside our doors.
It's true.
It really is. It's a mix of the everyday and the unexpected.
Yeah.
All captured through the lens of a doorbell camera. Okay, so let's jump right in. We're going to start with some classic attempted break-ins.
Okay.
But trust me, these aren't your typical Hollywood heist scenarios.
No.
The first video we're looking at features a guy who seems to think he's invisible. He's got the hat, the face mask, the sunglasses, the whole 9 yards.
All right.
He tries the front door, fiddles with the doorbell,
Yeah.
you know, the standard routine. But what's interesting is how he reacts when he realizes he's being recorded.
It's almost like that moment of, oh wait, I'm on camera, and then they kind of freeze and then back away.
It really highlights the power of even basic home security measures as a deterrent.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But let's move on to a case that's a bit more, well, unexpected.
Okay.
Picture this. It's 4:30 in the morning, you're sound asleep, and suddenly your doorbell rings.
Oh.
You check the camera, and there he is, a completely naked man sprinting across your yard. What do you make of that?
Well, it's certainly not your average Tuesday morning, is it?
No, not at all.
It reminds us that even in the age of technology, some things are just too bizarre to predict.
No.
While this situation is definitely alarming,
Oh, yeah.
it's important to remember that not all unusual behavior stems from malicious intent.
Yeah, that's true.
Substance abuse or mental health issues can often manifest in unpredictable ways.
That's a really good point. Yeah, the homeowner in this case mentioned the guy was yelling for help
Oh, really?
and seemed panicked. Turns out he was reportedly high on meth and thought snakes were in his clothes.
Wow.
So it's a reminder that sometimes what appears to be a threat might actually be a cry for help.
But let's shift gears now to a situation where the threat is much more direct.
Okay.
It's late at night. A hooded man rushes up to a house and aggressively tries to open the door. And here's where it gets interesting. The homeowner actually opens the door without checking first.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
That's so scary.
it's a close call.
Yeah,
I know,
that could have easily turned into a much worse situation.
definitely. It really makes you wonder, would you have opened the door?
You know, it's so easy to say like, oh, of course not, I would never.
Yeah.
But when you're in the moment,
Yeah.
you know it's dark, it's late, you're not expecting anyone.
You're half asleep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This incident really underscores the importance of always verifying who's at the door before opening it,
You're telling me.
especially late at night.
Especially late at night.
And even during the day, it's always best to err on the side of caution.
Absolutely. And sometimes the threat isn't a direct confrontation, but a more subtle, lingering unease. We have a chilling image of a man in a white mask just lurking around a neighborhood, captured by a Ring camera. He doesn't do anything, but the creep factor is off the charts. What kind of impact does this kind of footage have on our sense of security?
I think it really taps into our primal fears, right?
Yeah.
The anonymity of the mask adds an extra layer of unease. It plays on our sense of vulnerability and makes us question the safety of our surroundings.
If you think anybody could be out there.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that maintaining awareness in our communities is crucial.
Yeah, for sure.
Sharing information and looking out for each other can create a safer environment for everyone.
Definitely. It's that feeling of something's not right here that you just can't shake.
Yeah.
You know, we often think of package deliveries as a mundane part of life, but this next story shows how easily that trust can be shattered.
Okay.
Imagine you're expecting a package. It's getting late. And you hear a knock at the door. You'd probably assume it's the delivery driver, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. It's natural to let our guard down in familiar situations.
Right.
We create these mental shortcuts to navigate our day-to-day lives, but criminals are aware of these patterns and they exploit them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In this case, a family's trust was completely violated
Oh, no.
when they opened the door to what they thought was a late-night delivery at 9:40 p.m. to be exact.
Wow, that's late.
Except it wasn't a delivery driver at all. He even had the I need to take a picture of the package routine down pat.
Oh, gosh.
But then, bam, he attacks. And 3 other masked guys barge in, all armed with knives.
Oh, my goodness.
It's terrifying how these criminals prey on our expectations.
It's disturbing. The level of planning and coordination in this attack is really disturbing. It highlights the need for vigilance, even in seemingly harmless situations.
Right.
It's a stark reminder that criminals are getting more sophisticated in their methods, and we need to adapt our security measures accordingly.
Absolutely. This incident actually happened during the COVID lockdowns when people were even more reliant on deliveries. It shows that criminals are opportunistic and will exploit any situation to their advantage.
I really will.
It's a scary thought.
Right.
But it emphasizes the importance of staying informed about current events and how they can be manipulated for criminal purposes.
Right.
It's not just about what's happening in your neighborhood anymore.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the broader context and how that can impact your personal safety.
Absolutely. It's a reminder to stay vigilant and adaptable in our approach to personal safety.
Yeah. So we've seen how doorbell cameras can capture attempted break-ins and suspicious activity. But what about when the threat comes from someone you know? That's where things get even more chilling,
Oh.
and where we'll turn our attention next. We'll be diving into the world of stalking and exploring the story of Kayla,
Okay.
a young woman who found herself the target of a stalker named Thomas, or so she thought.
Kayla's story is a really good example of how technology, while it can be beneficial, can also be used as a tool for harassment
Yeah.
and control. What struck me about this case was how quickly the stalker's behavior escalated.
Yeah, it's chilling how quickly things spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
Like those early messages might seem harmless at first,
Right.
but they quickly change into something far more sinister.
Yeah, and the fact that he was using a fake name,
Exactly.
calling himself Thomas, adds another layer of deception to the whole situation.
It really makes you wonder, what was he trying to hide?
Right, like was he trying to protect his own identity or create this persona that was separate from his real life?
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah.
The use of a fake name is a common tactic among stalkers, right?
It is. It allows them to create a persona and maintain a sense of anonymity. So in this case, it seems like Thomas was trying to present himself as someone he wasn't. Perhaps to lure Kayla into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
But then, as his messages become more possessive and controlling, the mask starts to slip.
What do you mean?
Well, he starts saying things like, God, I think I might love you.
Oh, wow.
I can't get you out of my fang head. It's creepy and possessive.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to force a connection that doesn't exist.
Right. Exactly.
And then it escalates even further. He leaves messages like, I'm coming over. I know you're thinking about me.
Oh.
I'm going to drive by your house in the middle of the night.
That's scary.
You can hear the desperation and anger in his voice.
Yeah, this is where the situation becomes really dangerous.
Yeah.
The stalker's actions are no longer just words on a screen. He's making direct threats
Right.
and attempting to control Kayla's movements. This is a clear indication that the situation could escalate to physical violence.
And to make matters worse, the Ring camera actually catches him showing up at her house at 2 a.m.,
Oh, no.
just as he threatened. Thankfully, she didn't answer the door, but imagine the fear she must have felt,
Oh, yeah.
knowing that he was actually outside her home.
It's a terrifying experience to realize that someone is watching you
Right.
and violating your sense of safety.
Yeah,
It can have a profound impact on a victim's mental and emotional well-being.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then comes the most unsettling revelation of all. Kayla and her friend discover that Thomas isn't his real name at all.
What?
His real name is Matthew.
Yeah.
And he's been using a fake name based on the Marvel character, the Punisher.
The Punisher.
Can you talk a little bit about the significance of this connection?
Sure.
What does it tell us about his mindset?
Well, the Punisher, for those who are unfamiliar, is a Marvel antihero who's known for his brutal vigilante justice. He operates outside of the law,
Rough.
taking down criminals with extreme violence.
Yeah.
So for someone to adopt this persona, especially in the context of stalking,
Yeah.
is incredibly concerning.
It's like he's trying to live out some twisted fantasy,
Right.
using intimidation and fear to control Kayla.
Exactly. This connection to a violent fictional character really highlights the danger of romanticizing or glorifying violence. It can desensitize individuals to the real-world consequences of their actions and fuel a dangerous sense of entitlement.
It's a stark reminder that stalking is never a harmless infatuation.
Yeah,
It's a form of abuse
it is.
that can have devastating psychological and physical consequences for the victim.
Absolutely. Stalking is a crime that often escalates over time.
Right?
So it's crucial to recognize the warning signs early on and take steps to protect yourself.
What are some of those warning signs?
Well, some of the warning signs can include unwanted contact,
Okay.
persistent following or monitoring, showing up uninvited at your home or workplace, spreading rumors, And making threats?
In Kayla's case, she took several important steps to protect herself. She filed a restraining order,
Good.
blocked him on all platforms, and thankfully he seems to have disappeared. But this situation raises some important questions.
Okay.
What are the common motivations behind stalking? And what drives someone to engage in this type of behavior?
Well, there's no single answer. As the motivations behind stalking can be complex and varied, some stalkers are driven by a desire for control and power.
Okay.
They may feel entitled to the victim's attention and time, and they use harassment and intimidation to assert their dominance. Others may act out of jealousy, anger, or revenge,
Oh, wow.
seeking to punish the victim for perceived wrongs.
So it's not always about romantic love gone wrong.
Not necessarily. Stalking can occur in various contexts, between former romantic partners,
Right.
acquaintances, strangers, or even within families.
Okay.
The common thread is an obsessive fixation on the victim and a willingness to engage in behaviors that cause fear and distress.
That's really unsettling.
Yeah.
It seems like technology has made it easier for stalkers to monitor and harass their victims.
It has, unfortunately. Technology has provided stalkers with new tools for their arsenal.
What are some of the ways that technology is being used in stalking cases?
So social media,
Okay.
GPS tracking devices, spyware, and even smart home devices can be used to monitor a victim's movements,
Yeah.
gather personal information, and harass them from a distance.
So what steps can we take to protect ourselves in this digital age? It feels like our privacy is constantly under threat.
You're right. It's a constant battle to maintain privacy in our interconnected world.
Yeah.
But there are steps we can take to minimize our risk.
Like what?
It's important to be mindful of your digital footprint.
Okay.
Think carefully about what personal information you share online. Be cautious about connecting with people you don't know well on social media. And review your privacy settings regularly.
Those are great tips. And what about if you suspect that you're already being stalked or harassed online?
Don't hesitate to report it,
Okay.
both to the platform and to law enforcement. Social media platforms have policies against harassment and stalking, and they have teams dedicated to investigating these types of incidents. Law enforcement agencies also have resources and expertise to address cyberstalking cases.
It's important to remember that you're not alone.
You're not.
There's support out there, and taking action early can make a huge difference
It can.
in preventing the situation from escalating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's important to emphasize that stalking is never the victim's fault. It's a crime driven by the perpetrator's choices and actions. If you're experiencing stalking, reach out for help. You deserve to feel safe and secure.
Well said. Kayla's story is a powerful reminder that we need to be vigilant and take proactive steps to protect ourselves in both the physical and digital worlds.
I agree.
But let's shift our focus back to those doorbell cameras for a moment.
Okay.
We've seen how they can capture crime in action,
Right.
but they also offer a unique perspective on human behavior in general.
They do. They really do. Doorbell cameras provide a window into our everyday lives, capturing both the mundane and the extraordinary.
Yeah.
We see those random acts of kindness, the unexpected animal encounters, the funny little moments that make up the fabric of our communities.
Okay, so we've seen the dark side of doorbell camera footage, but you're saying there's a lighter side as well?
Oh, absolutely.
What are some of the more heartwarming or humorous things that people have captured on their doorbell cameras?
Well, we've seen deliveries gone wrong,
Yeah.
but there's also a lot of footage of delivery drivers going above and beyond.
Like what?
Like, carefully placing packages out of the rain,
Well, that's nice.
or even rescuing a pet that's gotten loose.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then there are the unexpected animal encounters.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like a deer casually strolling through a neighborhood, or a family of raccoons having a late night snack.
Or a bear trying to open your car door?
Yeah, those are a little less heartwarming.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But they make for some pretty entertaining footage.
They do.
It's like a wildlife documentary right in your own front yard.
Exactly. And then you have those heartwarming moments that restore your faith in humanity.
Okay, give me an example.
Like a neighbor helping an elderly resident with their groceries. Or a group of kids setting up a lemonade stand to raise money for charity. It's a reminder that there's still a lot of good in the world.
It's like you said earlier, it's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
Acknowledging the potential risks while also appreciating the unexpected joys and connections that these cameras can reveal.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've seen the good, the bad, and the truly unsettling side of doorbell camera footage.
Wait.
It's been a fascinating journey into the world of home security, privacy, and the unpredictable nature of human behavior.
It really has.
It's been a reminder that technology is a powerful tool, And it's up to us to use it responsibly and ethically.
Absolutely.
It's about finding that balance between utilizing technology to enhance our safety and security,
Mm.
while also being mindful of privacy concerns and the potential for misuse.
Right.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of doorbell cameras, I think the key takeaway is this.
What's that?
Be aware, be informed, and be proactive when it comes to your personal safety and the security of your home.
I agree.
And don't forget to embrace those unexpected moments of joy and connection that these cameras can capture. It's a reminder that even in a world that can sometimes feel dark and unpredictable, there's still plenty of beauty and kindness to be found.
So true.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay safe.